What is up, y'all? A few weeks ago I actually posted on both my YouTube and Instagram to actually ask me a question. I said I would make a video on every single question. I've kind of been postponing that because it actually seems extremely exhausting to do because there's actually over 200 questions. I have filtered out some of them, but I did happen to break my ribs yesterday, or maybe just severely bruise them. I have not been to a doctor, but I cannot wakeboard today, so I'm just gonna go over this right now, and yeah, let's just get started. So I'm gonna go over the questions from YouTube first, and then I'm gonna head on over and grab the Instagram questions for you guys. But yeah, let's start on the first question, and it is, how much does a professional wakeboarder earn annually? I'd say a professional wakeboarder, like most professional wakeboarders, like 98% or so, probably earn about zero income for the entire year. Most professional wakeboarders have pretty rich parents that help fund them to go all over the world or fill up the boat 1,000 times. Unfortunately, I didn't have rich parents growing up, but my parents did help fund a lot of things whenever I started wakeboarding, and now I do have quite a few really great sponsors that help fund all the things I'm doing and all my travels and help me do what I need to do. And yeah, I'm really grateful for that. Also, there are some wakeboarders that do work a job, like a day job, and that really helps them out too. But I'd say for the most part, most wakeboarders don't really earn an income, and there are a select few that make a decent amount of money. When did you start wakeboarding? A lot of people actually ask that question, so I'm just gonna only do this one. But yeah, I started wakeboarding in 2004 here in Austin, Texas. What's the most impressive trick that you can do? I don't really know. That's kind of like a weird question. Like, I like a lot of different tricks, so I'm not really gonna put a trick down on that one. And are there any tricks you really want to learn but can't do or are scared to do? Yeah, I'd really like to try a triple half cab roll again. I actually tried one, like, I don't know, probably 4 years ago, and I got really close. I could be wrong on that date, but I got really close. I landed on my board, and I thought that I was gonna ride away from it that day, and I didn't end up landing it that day, and I haven't tried it since. So yeah, I'd like to go back to that at some point and hopefully land it. How did you start wakeboarding, and what advice would you give to someone who started snowboarding and wants to start wakeboarding for the summer season? What board should I choose as a newbie? How I started wakeboarding would be on a 21-foot little Sea Ray boat my dad used to have when I was younger. And yeah, we just went on the lake one day and we tried it out. It was really challenging, probably took me 18 tries to get up. But once we were up, then we were solid. That's how I basically started. Advice for someone who's snowboarding, wants to start wakeboarding, is basically just to try it at any opportunity you can get. I mean, on the boat, if you have a buddy who has a boat, or go on over to the cable park. I think it will be really easy for you. If you snowboarded first, you'll have that board control, so it shouldn't be that hard. What's a good board you could choose as a newbie? I think like pretty much any board in the Hyperlight line. They're all pretty friendly from beginner to advanced, so yeah, if you want to head on over to the website, you can check out any of those. What is my goal? I've had different goals over the year. I mean, when I was younger, my goal would be to just get better and better and try to be the best I can, and I guess that still is kind of the goal. I mean, now I'm really trying to get better, as well as like try and reach out to like a large audience and really help introduce new people into wakeboarding. So I'd say my current goal would just bring as many new people into wakeboarding as I can to help grow the sport I love. So yeah, that would be my goal at the moment. Don't you feel like your knees are going to blow out when you hear the sound of impact on your landing? I mean, yeah, it sounds like that sometimes, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like my knees are going pretty solid. I try and blast as high as I can all the time. As long as you kind of land in control, I feel that no matter how high you are, you can usually ride it out. That is to a certain extent. If I do go high, sometimes I will just land on my butt to save my knees. But yeah, no, I don't feel like my knees are ever gonna blow out. Can you tell us a good progression of tricks to learn? I'm at 540s right now and would like to get more tricks in. Maybe a few tips on which tricks to learn next. I mean, if you're at 540s, I don't know if that means that you're doing like inverts yet as well, but you could try some flips off the kicker or some flips off the wake. You know, it's always good to go back and learn all your basics, like riding switch and regular, maybe doing like switch toe side 540 instead of just a regular toe side 540. There's a lot of different ways you could go, so I can't really answer that question to its full potential. Have you ever tried kiteboarding? No, I haven't ever tried kiteboarding, but I really do want to try. I have a lot of good buddies that kite, so that'd be really cool to try that one day. What is the secret behind hitting kickers in order to get massive airtime? I actually made a tutorial on this, on like how to get more pop. I'd say basically just from the bottom of the kicker to the top of the kicker, just try and stand up and push as hard as you can, along with a solid edge and carrying a lot of speed will really help you get in the air for a long period of time. What would you recommend trick progression be at the intermediate level? Like, what tricks should be learned first? I mean, it's really up to you. There's not really like an order of what way you should learn tricks or what order you should learn tricks. I mean, an intermediate level would be like basic flips, like a tantrum, toe side back roll, scarecrow, front roll, toe side 540 or so. I mean, you could go and try all of those in any order you wanted. So yeah, just go out and try all those tricks, and there is no order. Learn it whatever order you want, whatever order is the most fun for you. Have I ever done kneeboarding? Yeah, when I was a kid, I really liked kneeboarding. Like, I actually liked kneeboarding more than I liked wakeboarding. Unfortunately, I have torn my ACL, and I can't really kneel on my like patella tendon anymore, so I cannot kneeboard, and I don't really think kneeboarding is the coolest thing anyway, so yeah. Are you ever planning on coming to Chicago to wakeboard? I think West Rock Wake Park is in Chicago, but I'm not 100% sure. But if that is the case, then I'm definitely gonna go there. What's my favorite wake park in Texas? My favorite wake park in Texas is definitely Next Level Ride. Nikki and Kurt, the owners, are definitely the best, and it's my favorite park by far there. Could you come to Hydrus Little Elm in Texas? Yeah, I could definitely go to Hydrus Little Elm in Texas. I've been there quite a few times, but I definitely plan on coming up there at least once before the end of the summer. Who's the best hyperlight cable athlete? That's actually like a really tough question because everybody's kind of good at different things. But if you had to like point individually at each category, I'd say like at rails, I'd say for sure Graham would be like the best at that. Like, he's absolutely insane. Can do the hugest ollies and get on top of stuff that just seems impossible. And then like on kickers, I'd say Cody Hess. I mean, he does double mobs. I've seen him bang out like 3 in a row before, and I don't know, he's just absolutely insane on the kickers. And then air tricks, of course, Nick Davies. He's by far better than all of us at air tricks. He can do pretty much whatever he wants, whenever he wants, out of no tension at all. So yeah, he's definitely the best at air tricks. Most of us are pretty well-rounded all the way throughout every category in cable wakeboarding. But yeah, those are just kind of the best at each category, I would say. How hard should you go when learning to wakeboard? That's a really weird question. I mean, as hard as you want, I guess. I mean, you don't have to go full send all the time. You can practice small things or big things or whatever you want. Just however hard you want to go, I guess. How big is your wakeboard? My wakeboard is 143 centimeters long. How long have you been riding on your cable board? Oh man, I'd say like late 2012 or 2013 is when I started riding cable. But if you're talking about like my current cable board, like hyperlight cable boards, I'd say for like the last 1.5 years, almost 2. How many sponsors do you have? I have 4 sponsors that actually support me. So that would be X Dubai, Hyperlight, Ion, and Boardco. Those all have like a different level of sponsorship, but yeah, they each help me out pretty well. What is your favorite boat you've ridden behind? That's a tough question. There's quite a few boats I've ridden that I liked, but I'd say my top 2 right now that I've ridden would probably be like an M235 from Malibu or the G23 from Nautique. And actually I rode a Taiga the other day. I think it was called like a 23ZX or something, and I didn't really expect much out of it, but I was pretty mind blown by the wake on it. Please do more air tricks, and that's a request. Yeah, I can try and do more air tricks. I mainly focus on like features and just having fun on the water. Yeah, I really don't do a lot of air tricks, but I can try and do a bit for you. What's the best trick you have ever landed? I'd say like the hardest kicker hit I've ever landed is a double cab mob. I actually only landed it once. I tried it once, tried it on the second try, and I landed it, and I've never actually been able to do it again. Are you ever planning to visit Singapore? No, I don't really have many plans on visiting Singapore. I have been there once, and I rode at Ski 360, and I think it's called Singapore Wake Park now. I had a ton of fun, but I don't really have any plans on going there at the moment. Maybe someday in the future. Any tips for the next progression steps for new riders who can 50-50 and board slide on some of the features at a cable park? I'd say the next step would just be doing like a 180 off the end of the rail, maybe even a backside 180 off the end of the rail. What are the next big moves in JB Oneill's career? I don't really know, you know. Right now, I've just been trying to pump out videos every second day forever and see how far I can make this YouTube thing grow. But yeah, I don't have too many big moves in plan right now. Do I ever water ski? No, not really. I think I may have like once, but yeah, no, I don't really ski. Have you been to Lithuania Cable Park 313? No, I haven't been there, but a few of my friends have been there and it looks absolutely amazing. I do want to go at some point, so that would be really cool to go there. When are you going to come visit me in Australia? I don't think I'm going to come visit you in Australia because by the time I go there, I think that you're already going to be back in America. What's the most impressive air trick I can do? I'd say the most impressive air trick I think I could still maybe do. I think I could go out and maybe bang out an S-mob. But that would probably be the hardest trick I could possibly do at the moment. How have your videos not gone viral yet? Yeah, I don't know. I have uploaded a lot of videos. I feel like a lot of them do really well. I have one that has gone pretty viral, like over 100,000 views. But yeah, haven't had a big million viewer video yet, but maybe soon in the future. How much money do you make vlogging? It's crazy how many people are asking how much money like people make and stuff. I do find that kind of rude, but you know, I will answer everything for you guys. How much money do I make vlogging? This last month, I actually made the most I have so far, so that would be June, like last month. I made around $1,500, but from the start, I started off at about $50 a month in January, and then maybe that made it up to $70, and then it slowly increased, and then had a big jump till June for $1,500 that month. So it's not like a whole lot of money, but it is helping fund all these videos so I don't have to like pay and do all these activities. Pretty much putting all of that money back into it, so not really a whole lot. Hopefully more in the future. I'd say in the summer it'll probably make the most because I bet it'll start going downhill as it starts cooling off. Do you think someone can become a good wakeboarder on a ski boat? It's what I have. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up mainly wakeboarding on a ski boat, a direct drive Supra with a tower on it. So yeah, I think it's definitely possible to become a good wakeboarder on a ski boat. Not trying to say I'm good or anything, but yeah, I mean, I felt like I learned quite a lot of tricks on that ski boat, yeah. How long did it take you to learn how to ride a wakeboard? I'll be honest, it took me about 18 tries to get up, and I actually counted every single one of those tries that day, and I remember it still to this day. Will you ever come shred at Flipslide in Birmingham, Alabama? Yeah, my buddy Kane rides there, so I might head up there at some point and go ride and film with that little guy. Hola, JB. What's your take on the community and the riders focusing less and less on air tricks, and why such a transition towards obstacle riding, in my opinion? In my opinion, you can't really do air tricks on a snowboard or skateboard or surfboard, and I think that most wakeboarders are trying to emulate those sports, and yeah, since they don't really connect, people are just kind of deciding to not do them and focus more on obstacles because they want to be more like skate or more like snow. So yeah, that's kind of what I think. Style or technicality? I'd say both. You know, like sometimes people really can overlook style whenever they're doing a lot of technical tricks, and that kind of sucks. But also some people can really only focus on style and then their tricks aren't really hard at all, so I feel like that's kind of boring. So I think like the combo of both is the best way to go. I was at the beach recently and I left my wake surf board on the beach to go out on a boat, and someone came along and stole it, and I was just wondering what a good cheap board I could buy because I don't have a lot of money to buy the best board out there. I mean, I don't know, go online, go to boardco.com, they got some good deals on there, and see if you can find a good deal. What is a good way to learn how to spin the other direction? I spin backside and I've never been able to spin frontside. I'd say a good way to learn would be on the trampoline, is just spinning the opposite way on the trampoline. But the main thing to do would just be try and spin the opposite direction as much as you can possibly do on the cable, or do it on the surface, or do it off the end of a box or a small kicker or something like that. and spin as much as you can in the opposite direction that you like to go, so hopefully you can be more well-rounded both directions. Yo, I just started wakeboarding. Which tricks would you recommend me to start with? I'd say just start off gaining a good solid control, riding both switch and regular and hitting small obstacles. If you're on the boat, just doing like small jumps. But I'd say definitely try and get some of your basics down, and then you can go for whatever bigger tricks you want. How do you overcome mental blocks when learning a new trick? Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have like a problem with this, and my really like best recommendation for that is just don't be a pussy. I mean, really, if you don't try the trick you want to try, then you're never gonna get it. And if you're a pussy about it, you're never gonna try, and you're just gonna be bummed with yourself all the time. So just grow some nuts and try whatever you're gonna try, and you should be able to do it. What was your first sponsor? My first sponsor was actually O'Brien Wakeboards. It went pretty well at first, and I rode for them for actually like 11 years, and we ended up parting ways, and yeah, I moved on to bigger and better things. When starting to buy your own equipment, what's the order would you recommend getting things in? I'd say just buy all of your stuff up front. I mean, I think it would be silly to have a board without bindings, or a pair of bindings without a board, and an impact vest without anything to ride on. So yeah, just try and save up and get everything at once. Do you own Oneill Clothes? Is that your company? No, it's not my company, but the owner does have the exact same name as me, which is Jack Oneill. But yeah, no, I don't own it. Come to Melbourne Cable Park in Australia. Yeah, hopefully I'd like to go there one day for sure. How many $5 boxes do you eat per day? I mean, sometimes I'll do 2. I mean, I have done 3 before, but I usually max out around 2. Have I ever ridden in Panama City, Florida? No, I have not. Did you learn in a boat or on a cable? I definitely learned to wakeboard on the boat, and I actually rode boat for a long time before I even stepped foot on a cable. How do you go from local wakeboarding to traveling often and making a living from wakeboarding? I'd say that this isn't really an easy task. You would have to really gain as much exposure as possible. I'd say definitely the best thing you could do would be to hopefully save up some money and buy a camera and really try and put your name on the map by doing a lot of banger tricks or a lot of creative different things that other riders are doing, to hopefully get noticed from sponsors, to hopefully being able to travel the world and afford doing all these great things. Was your first experience in the park or behind a boat? My first experience was behind the boat, and I rode boat for quite a lot of years first. And what park did I grow up and learn on? The first park I learned to wakeboard on the cable at would be Texas Ski Ranch, but I didn't really ride there very many times, maybe like a few times. I didn't really like it that much back in the day. But yeah, I mainly rode at BSR when learning how to ride cable. I rode there so much. I rode there every single day for like almost a year. So yeah, BSR is where I spent most of my time wakeboarding on the cable at first. Where am I from, and how did you get hooked up with Hyperlite? I'm from Austin, Texas, and the way I got hooked up with Hyperlite would be through Greg Nelson. I've known him for a while. I met him in Australia a few years back. He actually came over to sponsor Courtney Angus at the time, and we met, and we've kind of been friends ever since. And yeah, my wakeboarding has been progressing since then. And yeah, we hooked up about 1.5 years ago, and it's been going well ever since. Have you ever wake skated? Can you do anything cool on one? Yeah, I have wake skated. I have landed 1 kickflip in my entire wake skating time that I've spent on one, but yeah, I don't really wake skate that much. Who is my favorite celebrity? Oh man, I couldn't tell you. I don't really watch TV at all or anything that much, so I don't think I really have a favorite celebrity. What is your favorite band? I'd say like Kid Rock or maybe Limp Bizkit. Those two are like pretty horrible bands, I feel like most people think, but I really like those two. Favorite fast food place and why? I'd say my favorite fast food place is probably Taco Bell, and the reason why is because they have a $5 box, and it's a good price, and it changes up every month or so. So yeah, Taco Bell, you're my number 1. Would you ever think about kneeboarding? No, like probably not ever. What's the best wake park in the US? I have not been to all the wake parks in the US, but so far, like by far, my favorite is Next Level Ride, just because like the staff there is so friendly, it's so fun. The cable's awesome, it's usually pretty good water, and yeah, just the owners are super cool, and it's a good time out there, good vibes. Are you gonna come to Turkey? Yeah, at some point. I still really want to go to Hypnotics, and I haven't been there yet, but yeah, I'm gonna go to Turkey at some point. How much would an average beginner wakeboard starter kit cost? I don't really know, but you could definitely go on like boardco.com, and they have some really good deals. I think they'll price match anybody else. So if you want to go check it out on there and see what kind of deals you can find, that'd be cool. What's your favorite trick? Right now, my favorite trick is still doing wheelies. I think it is like the most fun thing ever. So yeah, my favorite trick is a wheelie. Can you please write a plan for beginners? Sequence of tricks to learn. I'm just gonna go ahead and say no on that one. I don't think that there's any sort of sequence of tricks you should learn. I think you should kind of just do some of the basics, and then I think that you should learn at whatever order you want and whatever order you find the most fun, because otherwise I think you could get burnt out really easily. So I'm not gonna write a plan. Just go out and learn at whatever order you want and just have fun and try the tricks you wanna do. Do you ever ride competitions? What do I personally think about them? Do I ever ride competitions? No, not really. 2 years ago, I rode the U.S. Nationals and I got 4th place, and then also that same year, I rode the U.S. Open and I got 3rd place. So that was a pretty good year, I guess. But yeah, I don't really ride contests that much. My personal thoughts on them is the payout isn't high enough for the amount of money it costs to travel and pay the entry fee, and also I think the marketing is pretty poor at most of the contests. I feel like this video I'm making right now, where I'm just sitting here talking to myself at a table, will get more exposure than any of those contests. So I kind of just stopped doing them, and I really focused on yeah, doing this YouTube thing and trying to reach out to a large audience of wakeboarders and bringing everyone together. Do I think a triple backflip is possible on a wakeboard? Yes, 2 different triple backflips have been done now by Cody Hess. So yeah, it's definitely possible. How many wakeboards do you own? I mean, I have been wakeboarding for a really long time, so I'd say I would have owned quite a lot of wakeboards in my day. How do you motivate yourself to try a new and scary trick? Yeah, it does suck to try a new and scary trick for the first time, and a lot of times I will just kind of put on that, you know, fuck it attitude and really try and shut off my brain and make myself try it. It is scary sometimes, like sometimes I imagine myself like blowing my knee or something, but really you just got to get that out of your head and just try it. How do you work up enough courage to throw down your first trick over the wake, and what trick is best to send first? Yeah, I mean, the best way to work up enough courage is just seriously, just don't be a pussy. Just do it. Just go for it. And the best trick to send first is really up to you. Pick whatever trick you want to do and go do it. Why did you start to wakeboard? The first time I wakeboarded, I didn't really like it, but the second time I went out on a buddy's boat with a much better wakeboard, I actually had so much fun, and from there on out, I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna start wakeboarding. Like, I really like it. If you went back in time, what would you change and why? Right now, I feel like I'm sitting in a pretty good spot. There are some things that I could maybe change, but I really kind of like the spot I'm sitting in right now, so I'm not gonna change anything. When are you going to Miami? I'm not sure. I should have gone when I was in Florida just a few weeks ago, but yeah, hopefully I can go. I really want to ride MWC. What made you start uploading every second day forever? I'll be honest, like at first, money was why I wanted to do it, because one of my buddies, he rides BMX, and he has over 1 million subscribers, and he told me that he was making over $21,000 a month, and he didn't even upload those months, so he was making that much money. So I was like, man, I really want to pull the trigger and start doing that. I ended up really not making even close to that, because I'm nowhere near close to 1 million subscribers. But yeah, now what like keeps me doing it is actually how many people are stoked on it. Like so many people are shooting me DMs, and so many people are commenting on the YouTube. Like, there are so many DMs in my inbox that I cannot even keep up. Like, if I haven't replied to you, like, I'm sorry, but there is almost 99 new DMs every single day, and it's really, really hard to keep up. But don't be scared to send me a message, because I will definitely try and reply. Have you ever tried another wakeboarding brand, or have you always ridden Hyperlight? I'm pretty sure I've tried every single brand. I've ridden a Hyperlight board, a Liquiforce board, O'Brien board, CWB, a Slingshot, Humanoid. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I tried every single one. Right now, I really, really like the Wishbone board I'm riding right now, and I wouldn't really change that. But yeah, I've tried them all, and I'm pretty stoked on the board I'm on right now. Have I ever been to Germany? Yeah, once I rode like a boat contest called Chill and Ride ages ago, but I really want to go there because there's so many cable parks there. Do you have any tips on how to prevent injuries in the future? How to land huge tricks from the kicker and keep your legs in safely? My main tip for like landing safely is basically if you get out of control, try and butt check. Like try and put your ass in the water and it'll kind of keep you from putting all that impact on your knees. So yeah, basically when I'm not in control, I really try and land on my ass. Do you have a girlfriend? No, I do not have a girlfriend at the moment. What age did you start wakeboarding? And do you have any tips for anyone that's new and beginner? I started wakeboarding at the age of like 14 or so. And any tips I have for anyone that's new and a beginner would just be go out and have fun. Like don't push yourself to be awesome out of the gate. Just go out, have fun, and figure out what you like doing, and then go from there. What's your camera? Is it a GoPro? Yeah, my camera is a GoPro Hero 7, Black Edition. How do you work on style? Is it just replicating what looks good, or is there more to it? I'd say that each person sort of has their own style, like they're born with their own style, and then from there on out, you sort of like replicate what you think looks good, or you can come up with some creative things to try and look different than everyone else. But yeah, it's a little bit of that. Can you do more videos of you trying weird stuff like wakeboarding boots or riding a table or something like that? Yeah, sure. I mean, I can try that for sure. All right, so that was all of the questions from my YouTube, and that was an absolute insane amount. And now I'm gonna start on the Instagram questions. There are a lot of those as well, so hopefully you guys can last through this one. Come to Hypnotic Cable Parks on July 20th. Well, today is July 20th, and I am not there. So, yeah. Would you ever do a wakeboard giveaway? Yeah, I think maybe towards the end of the year, like towards Surf Expo time, I could try and do a wakeboard giveaway. What speed and line length do you use behind the boat? And also the speed for wake surfing? I ride a 75-foot rope at 23 miles per hour, and the speed for wake surfing I don't really know much about wake surfing, but the last time I went was like 11.5 miles per hour, I think. Why do you eat Hot Pockets every day for breakfast? Correction, I actually eat bagel bites every day, and because they are bagels and people eat bagels for breakfast, and also they're amazing. How do you train your arms and legs for wakeboarding? I can't ride for a very long time. I don't really train my arms or legs for wakeboarding. I just wakeboard a lot. At first it's really exhausting, and then over time you'll get stronger and stronger. Do a bottle cap challenge. I'm pretty sure Steel already did like the best one you could ever do, so I'm probably gonna skip on that. When did you do your first Rayleigh? I'd say like probably a year after wakeboarding on the boat. I'd say about a year in, I did my first air Rayleigh. When will the 2020 Hyperlight gear come out on the market? I'd say it'd probably come out around Surf Expo time. I have seen some leaks online of photos and stuff like that, but yeah, it will come out around Surf Expo time. When are we gonna ride together again? I'd say next time you drive down the Next Level Ride. Yeah, come ride with me. How do you manage to make sick YouTube videos and keep the wakeboarding way of life alive? It's actually really hard. Like, I make a lot of videos. Making a video every second day is extremely exhausting. So I do try and make the videos like pretty fun for me to do as well. But I also try and make like 4 or 5 videos in a day so I can kind of like try and get ahead of time. Right now I'm currently a month ahead of schedule, so I can like kind of chill out for a bit and have all the fun I need to have, and then whenever I go back and start making videos again, it won't be that much of a mission. Next video with some inverts. I find it crazy how many foreigners call air tricks inverts, but just so y'all know, a trick off of the water is called an air trick without any obstacle. A trick off the water would be called an air trick. In the next video, yeah, I could probably throw some inverts in there. What's the worst crash you have ever had? I'd say actually probably yesterday. It might not even be the worst crash, but it'd definitely be like the most painful. I like safetied off the shotgun feature about 8 foot in the air, a gap all the way to the double pipes at Next Level Ride. And I got out of control and started rolling down the windows and landed flat on my ribs on the pipes. And yeah, it's not really gonna put me out due to like a really bad injury or anything, but it was really painful, and now it's like pretty hard to breathe deep. But yeah, that was probably one of the gnarliest crashes I've ever had. What is your age? My age is 19 years old. Are you ever gonna go to West Rock Wake Park? Yes, I'm definitely gonna go to West Rock Wake Park. That place looks badass, and there's no way I'm not gonna go there. Will you ever come to Singapore to ride? Someone asked me this in the YouTube comments. I'm not sure if it's the same person, but I don't really plan on going to Singapore. Maybe I'll go there one day in the future, but I have no plans right now. How much does YouTube pay a year for you? I don't know how much it pays a year for me yet. I've only been doing it for about 6 months, but I'm hoping that after about 3 years of doing this, it could pay me a decent amount, but right now I'm just pretty grateful that it helps pay for me to do all the other videos and helps you have content all the time. Do I know of any kickers for sale? No, but Stacks, if you go to Stacks Unlimited, it's like an obstacle company. They have really good prices. I'm pretty sure it's like around $3 grand for an XL kicker. Come to West Australia and ride Perth Wake Park. I definitely have some plans on doing that this winter, so stay tuned. Hopefully I'll get there. My favorite dock start? Probably either a sitting dock start or the nollie dock start. Where to next? I'm actually going to Washington and Seattle next week, so that's the next place. If you couldn't wakeboard, what sport would you do? Definitely motocross. Like, I grew up with a lot of moto kids, and it's definitely one of my favorite things to do, so for sure motocross. What do you do when your progression slows or stops? I'd say that, like, your progression should never stop. Like, maybe if you stop learning big banger tricks, maybe you should go back and take a step back. I like to like work on a lot of things like my switch back lips or switch front boards or spinning the direction I don't like to spin. And then after you go back and learn these things, it actually helps you learn the bigger banger tricks down the road. What trick took the most time to learn and how long did it take? Oh man, the heel side, front side, 360. That was my trick that took me a lot of tries. I bet it took me over 100 tries, multiple days. It was the biggest pain in the ass. The heel side, front side, 360 took me the longest for sure. How long have you been riding for? I've been riding since 2004, so that's around like 15 years. Will there be a trilogy to Full Send? I definitely think so. Since I've been making so many videos, I haven't had the time to film it yet, but next year I may slow down on the videos a little bit and try and make a full video part. Would you come to a huge cable in Wisconsin if we built one? Yeah, definitely. There's not one there yet, so get it built and I'll show up. Will you ever move out of Texas? I'd probably say no. Like, I don't think I could ever imagine myself moving out of Texas. And yeah, probably gonna stay here for forever. Who's your favorite kid to ride with in Austin? All you kids at Next Level Ride, y'all are all pretty badass, so I like riding with y'all. Knee injuries are common. How to protect against them? Yeah, I really think there's no way to protect against them. I think it's all luck. If you never blew your knee, you're a lucky person. If you have, that sucks. Hopefully you don't do it again. But yeah, I think training your reactor muscles and stuff like that can be helpful. But I think that if you happen to land really weird with a straight leg or whatever, I think that no matter how strong your muscles are, I think that if you land wrong, your knee's gonna blow. So hopefully you stay lucky. Hopefully you stay in control. And yeah, stay in control. That's the best way. Will you ever come to the UK? Yeah, definitely. I really want to get over there. There's a lot of cables, and I just haven't really got to experience many of them yet, so I definitely want to come. Bro, I miss riding with you and filming at BSR. Yeah, I definitely miss that. Unfortunately, you can't ride doubles there anymore, so filming there is a pretty big challenge. Hopefully they can allow that again soon. Which double flip is the easiest? I think the double half cab roll is the easiest, but I have seen people do a double Mexican back roll or a double toe side back roll as their first double, so it could be really depending on the person, but I think the double half cab roll is the easiest. How long did you live in Australia? I lived in Australia for 8 months at Cable's Wake Park, Penrith. It was a great time. What's my best trick? A lot of people ask me this so far, but the best trick I ever landed would probably be a double mob, and I have never landed it again. How do you afford to wakeboard and travel all the time? I feel like I've been asked that multiple times, but X2Buy and Hyperlight and Boardco and Ion, they really help me out, and they've pretty much fund all my travels and give me the budget I need to have to do all these things. Are you going to be on the wakeboarding Olympic team? Honestly, I don't think there's ever going to be wakeboarding in the Olympics, but if it is, that'd be really cool if I was. How are you so good at wheelies? I can just hold it for like a really long time. I think just because I've done it so many times. Like, I practice it every single time I ride. It's like really fun and I like doing it. So I try and hold wheelies as long as I can, and I got good at it eventually. Who's the cringiest wakeboarder and why is it no legal? I don't really find no legal that cringy, but there are definitely like 3 or 4 female wakeboarders that I find extremely cringy, and I don't even know why I follow them on Instagram. Maybe it's because they post really good butt shots, but yeah, they're really, really cringy. I'm not going to say their names. Favorite cable? Already went over that. CWC and Next Level Ride. How long have you been 19? Oh, wow. That's a good question. I have been 19 for 9 years. Yep. If you were to design any obstacle, what would it be? I actually have a pro model signature feature with Stacks Unlimited. It's actually just a giant kicker to giant landing ramp. How much do you love box? I really, really love box, like a lot. What got you into wakeboarding? My dad. My dad definitely broke out the old wakeboard on our very first boat, which was a 21-foot Sea Ray, and that's how I got into it. When are you going to Shark Wake Park again? Hopefully soon. I really, really want to go there. That park was amazing. Like, the tension there was amazing, the kickers were amazing, obstacles were awesome, and there are great vibes, so I definitely want to go to Shark Wake Park again. What's my favorite park in Europe? I haven't been to many, but my favorite one so far is Liquid Leisure. Why should I change from the Hyperlight hashtag to the Hyperlight Wishbone? You shouldn't necessarily change, but if you are more into features, I think it would be a good idea to change to the Wishbone because it is flexier in the tips and the channels are not as big. But the hashtag is definitely better for like air trick maneuvers and things like that. But yeah, if you're into features, maybe the Wishbone would be something good for you to look at. Do you like to wake skate? Yeah, I like to wake skate. I kind of like to wake skate on like a jet ski or like a 2-tower cable. But I don't really like to wake skate on a full-size cable just because if you fall, you have to swim back. And I fall all the time on a wake skate, so yeah, I don't really like doing it that much. Will you do a Germany cable tour one day? I really wanted to do it this year, actually. I don't think I'm going to end up doing it this year, but I definitely want to do that. Germany has the most cables out of every country, so I really want to go there. What's the longest you had to stop riding due to injury? The longest I had to stop riding because of injury was when I tore my ACL. I think that was like 6 to 8 month recovery. So yeah, when I blew my ACL back in like, I'd say like 2008, that would probably be the longest time I had to stop riding. What is the hardest challenge to overcome when learning to wakeboard? To be honest, like I learned to wakeboard so long ago, but the hardest challenge I see people having is either getting up or going around the corner for the first time. And then after learning that, it's basically like a really uphill learning curve from there. When are you going to Miami Water Sports Complex? Someone asked me this already. I'm not sure, but Surf Expo time, I'll be in Florida again, so maybe then. Tell us about ear protection. I don't really use any ear protection. Probably would be a good idea, but I think it looks funny. So yeah, I just don't use it, and I've never blown out an eardrum before, so hopefully I don't do that. What's with all the unnecessary handle passes in wakeboarding? I don't really know about that, but I'm not a huge fan. I don't really do any unnecessary handle passes, so yeah, sometimes when I'm bored I'll do it, but I think it's just something different and people are just trying to have fun. Did Prius Gang choose you, or did you choose the Prius Gang? I definitely chose the Prius Gang. Why can't Conrad do a Pete? Because he sucks. What is your day job? I don't really have a day job. I'd say YouTube, I guess. I mean, what I'm doing right now, I guess this would be my day job. When are you going to visit the northernmost cable in the world in Finland? I'd say probably never. It sounds really, really cold, and I don't want to be cold, so I probably won't ever go there. Pizza rolls or Hot Pockets? I'd say neither. I'd say bagel bites for sure. Best first invert to learn. On the cable, I'd say a toe side back roll. On the boat, tantrum or a heel side back roll. Did you ride at Wake Island? No, I went there, but I didn't get the opportunity to ride. Favorite air trick? Dominic Gers does like this roll to revert thing, and it actually looks insane cool. If y'all don't follow him, go check him out. What is your why, and why do you do what you do in life? I don't know. I don't really know what my why is. I'd say my why is just why I like wakeboarding, or why I do what I do. I wakeboard because it's a ton of fun. I meet a ton of new people. I help a lot of new people get into something they love. And yeah, that's my why, I guess. How did you end up living in the Philippines? There's a cable park there called CWC, and it doesn't cost very much to live and ride there. So I went there and rode there all winter, and it is a great time. When are you coming to ride in Europe? I'm not sure, but you definitely need to come ride in Texas again. So hurry up and get here. How do you do a mini flick, an air trick when the board stays under you? Okay, I mean, you just scoop for an air trick, but really use your core and muscles to keep that handle low and hopefully keep that board right underneath you. Can you ride more crazy boards? Yeah, I definitely plan on doing that in the future. Have I ever been to Europe to wakeboard? Yeah, I have, but I haven't been to very many cable parks. I hope to go again and go to a lot more. How do you stay motivated lap after lap? I really just like to ride with my buddies. If I ride behind Boja or Graham, or if they ride behind me, we really like push each other and try new things all the time. So yeah, that's basically how I stay motivated. My GoPro literally just overheated after the very last question, so that was perfect timing, and thankfully we are completely done. If you hung it out through all of that, then thank you. That's really awesome. If y'all have any more questions, just comment below and I'll just answer them with text. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace!